Hello everyone again. It's February the 19th, 2023. I just recorded my other really long video, which I really think you should listen to. It's amazing what is all coming together, all the different streams of information. However, in this video here, I really wanted to shed some more light on Magenta Pixie and her work, her amazing cooperation with that group of unincorporated souls, so to say, the white-winged collective consciousness of 9. So I'm just playing you here a little bit, and then I want to read you my transcript and share my thoughts with it. And by the way, here on the side you see the discovery chart of that comet we're talking about. See, to 2022, that is the year it was discovered, and the designation E3, and ZTF, that is the facility where it was discovered. And that was on March the 2nd, 2022. So it's just shy of a year now that this comet was discovered, which truly seems to bring in some information which changes the course of history, as it brings in that magical piece of information and implements it into Mars, Mercury, and down the line to break the spell. And it is interesting that the 9 call this comet the green star-seeded comet of deliverance codes for humanity. That's big. Deliverance codes meaning liberation codes. They bring, the comet carries that information, and if you think of it, comes back from a 50,000 year orbit. Comets are harbingers of change. They bring in some freak information, chaotic in many ways. They are to the point that to predict their exact moment of closest approach to Sun and Earth has been corrected many times over the last few weeks. And so it is a highly complex orbit a comet like this comes in. So the 50,000 years, first of all, link us back to the civilization of Lemuria, or Mu, which I mentioned earlier, which is that mythic civilization predating Atlantis, where there was clairvoyance, a civilization which was not so much identified to their physical forms as we are today, much more kind of on that borderline between light and physical. And also it was a civilization which was run by matriarchal structures. Still very much in touch with the truth. Since then we have slowed down and kind of degraded into a very I would say almost like an incarceration, whereas what that was where we came from in that sense. So the 9 have actually mentioned quite many times already in the last 2-3 years, and I really like the direct channelings a lot. Magenta Pixie is transmitting, and she also has been publishing quite a few books already. All those teachings she has received, I highly recommend you that. So let me just play you a little bit of it so you get the idea.
Blessed Imbolc, goddess of spring may you be, presenting the dance of the earth as Sol awakens her with his warm kiss.
So I did a transcript, and I just want to make my comments too. So the green alabaster fire phoenix the comet also is called. When the doors unlock, you are transported within and without. When the boundaries disappear, the barriers are vanishing. The planetary brain is seen as the consciousness of Queen Sophia. Queen Sophia, that is allegorically the feminine wisdom. And the infinite wisdom she is. She shares her library with all on these days. So the books are totally open. These so sacred days. As fractals emerge in sequential organization. It's a very structured reveal we are going through. That's what this tells me. Pink raindrops fall from the sky. Pink is the color of the heart, and naturally raindrops, that is nourishing for earth, for nature. So there's lots of heart energy which is released in the wake of the green alabaster fire phoenix, who moves through its flyby past Terra Earth. Alyssa, and it was Pam Gregory who, in her interview with Magenta, which just was published recently, you will find it if you go to Magenta's page, or most likely also on Pam Gregory's. Alyssa resonates with Salacia a lot. So Pam, thank you for making this connection. Really makes sense. Salacia is the wife of Neptune. And if we know how important a wife is in that sense in a evolving relationship, then we can probably get the idea of how important Salacia's input is to help Neptune reach a higher state of consciousness, as I laid out in the video I just recorded. So Alyssa, Salacia, in that sense, that sparkly, shiny reflection, it's kind of the reflection of light on of sunlight on the water. That's kind of the image which is coming with it. It's a water goddess, and the 9 here say Alyssa is higher consciousness, feminine aspects of goddesses Bridget, Hecate, Raidi, and Quederedwen. Bridget, Hecate, Raidi, Quederedwen seems like 4 different aspects of feminine wisdom, and it is interesting in this context. I want to tell you that when the comet was closest to Earth on February 1st, it was in the 4th degree of Cancer, and the 4th degree of Cancer has that meaning of a cat arguing with a mouse. I mentioned that earlier in one of my recordings, which is a highly unusual behavior of not jumping onto the prey, but contemplating and looking at what this situation truly means. So there's a lot of contemplative energy in this, which is totally in line with that feminine aspect of consciousness, which then the 9 continue is the 0 point aspects solar emergence of matter, antimatter, weaving steps forward to look into the watery mirror, and she embodies the Lady of the Lake. Yes, it is that interface of light reflecting on water, as I said, which is mesmerizing in itself and which holds all the mysteries of creation, I even would like to say. Feminine power, warrior energy. For the white-wheeled Stargate point of 2023, white-wheeled Stargate point, that is winter season, that is the Stargate in winter, the white wheel. The warrior females who hold these goddess energies join in unity, and I want to say this is not just women and females, this is the female aspect of everyone, everything. And as we as we know, we are close to 50-50 anyway. If you're a man in a man's body, you're probably 51% male and 49 female, like and vice versa. So we both carry those both genders within ourselves, even though one is dominant, and that is the one we biologically express through, we carry the opposite as well. So the warrior females who hold these goddess energies join in unity and turn away from the conflict. Very important. It is the looking forward and not looking back, looking forward to what is to be created, what is just about coming into phase, into our field of view, and to create and wield the lightning sword as the pen through the cities of light. Now this is interesting. So the lightning sword is the pen this time. This totally suits the energetic setup of Mars in Gemini, fueling Mercury, which plays the major role in this thing. Mercury, the planet of which rules Gemini, which is all about perception and the computation of perception, which leads to the awareness and the understanding of all and everything, of connecting the dots, and you name it. So the pen, the word, is of prime importance in order to bring that recognition of what is going on this planet. For as the word spreads, the false dream spell breaks and the dance transforms. Very clear. Wings are lifting you up into the winds of change, and the direction shifts, and the children of the stars lead the way. Here you go. It's the awakening of those souls who have come here with an intent, with a particular mission. It is, as I said months ago already, this is a maturation process, a graduation for many to become the new leaders, those who will be really sought after, because it's like I said in my last video, as it gets ever more dark on this planet, the beautiful thing is then all the light carriers, they are starting to show, to glow and become visible. People will find those who have the wisdom, have the knowledge, all that feminine wisdom of the warrior spirit is becoming easily detectable, and that's where people will go for help and for transmutation, helping being able to bridge that enormous gap which is opening for so many. Forge paths through forest, gorge and jungle means we really have to pioneer new ways into the future. As Stargate trajectories are mapped out in the skies. Yes, that's what it is. That's what astrology is. As above, so below, as they say. It is destiny. Yes, it is destiny. It has been foretold in so many ways throughout time. And finally we are here. Now it becomes manifest as those who are at one with the true Sun hold hands as they step forward. Jacqueline Hobbs, Oracle Girl, she mentioned this, that we have an inner sun and there's actually an outer sun, so that is how I understand this phrase. It is that coming in sync with the greater truth, with the greater frequency of reality. Lilith and Lucifer do reign against this and deny the prophecies that the sun children will bear the crown of earth. Naturally, they are not wanting to admit. They continue to log and battle through war peace rhythms that arrive at an impasse as checkmate is declared on the board. This is pretty straightforward. Can't say much about that. So I guess we are approaching fast that point where it becomes so obvious, and I have been telling you this months ago. It will be in late spring, May, when this is coming full circle. And that's exactly what they say. It is from winter into spring, as we will read a little farther down. Yet, still, the dark forces push, drawing down all they know. As dark weather magies, wizards, and that's naturally true, that they still have that ability to manipulate weather and inflict any type of mess on this planet. It seems that is the last kind of thing, their last stronghold, the last thing they were allowed still to use, because on some level it is necessary for these scenarios to play it out, as they help the cause of awakening people, as difficult as it is to watch it and to see how many people are suffering. But they are still allowed to do this and utilize the elemental four corners as their own. It is the fifth element that the golden ones now hold in the palm of their united hands. They are the true shining ones, and they do not set themselves apart from the children of the illumined ones, Agartha, and the ice holes of old Eden, to deliver the truth to their surface dwelling cousins as to who they are. Now this is really cool. This is interesting. This seems to indicate that there's the civilizations which are hidden below the ground, which have been there for millions of years, separated from the surface population, that these people will now come up and start mixing and sharing their secrets, part of that great unification which is going on all levels. The dark ones, however, will attempt to twist and distort, but the returning ones will be seen. It all begins with the turning of the white wheel, winter season, and the knowing of the silver wheel, the turning of the white wheel and the knowing of the silver wheel being spring season, as I translated. As they move one ahead of the other, then simultaneously as free energy conduits of the etheric holding the knowings of the Earth's diamond core within. And they continue, welcome thus, new phase, unknown portal, green, starseeded, comet of deliverance codes for humanity. Yes, here it is. Make yourself known as the wizard gives you the power, and the dark magicians turn away, their cloak behind as the shadow that can never leave. Now this is interesting. Their cloak will stay behind as a reminder. It means that we always will be keeping that memory in place of what we have come out of. That is the one and only way which will keep us from getting back to those dark times. It is knowing what we are coming out of, very important. Behold this activation, heed this incantation and surrender to this initiation through the knowings of the story of the rhythms of poetry. For the bard and the storyteller, always set forward when the white wheel turns. Yes, that is the time of storytelling, winter season. And as this was right at Imbolc, at the midpoint of winter, which is a sacred time of planting seeds and of opening our curtains to new dreams, this was a perfect timing. February 1st, that was the time when the comet was closest to Earth, as you can follow also in my various videos which I published the last 3 or so. Anyway, I really wanted to give this a little more publicity. This is a powerful information which seems to be totally in sync with what astrology is showing. Thank you for joining and listening, and again, if you're interested, you will see the link below here to get directly to this video I have been quoting here from. So thank you, and if you enjoyed this, please consider giving it a like or even share it and subscribe. Thank you, and talk to you soon.